Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This time we are on Season 4, Episode 10. Last time, turns out it was Radcliffe all along. It was Radcliffe all along. Ever since he read the Darkhold, he's been wanting to get his own hands on the Darkhold, so then he created a whole extravagant kind of ploy to reveal the first kind of the Mark 1 version of Ada 1.0 as some kind of evil villain robot, and had her kind of, go corrupted and ended up having her kind of sneak into S.H.I.E.L.D., just break into S.H.I.E.L.D. essentially, just to try and steal the Darkhold for herself and try and pass it off as Ada having gained a soul and wanting to become human. I mean, I think, to be honest, even the way they executed that, I feel like it's not exactly completely implausible either. I'm hoping they actually do go somewhere with that, because now, even after Mac beheaded that Ada, like we found out, the Radcliffe is lucky enough to still have another Ada. Like, whether or not this Ada is somehow an improvement on the original Ada, or if it's just like another copy that he created in case the first one was somehow lost in the middle of everything, I don't know. But either way, he has a new Ada now, so I think this one, presumably, I think for ease of management, he probably transferred some old memory files and stuff maybe onto this new one or something like that. I don't know, but either way, he's got a new Ada now. So I think, given how well given how well they executed the whole kind of self-awareness on Ada, which, by the way, I've been thinking, I actually do prefer the idea of Ada herself actually gaining self-awareness through the Darkhold, as opposed to as opposed to the kind of the somewhat lackluster way they did it with Ultron and Age of Ultron. Like, I feel like I need to actually read the Age of Ultron comics to gain like a deeper understanding as to who and what Ultron it really is and what he's really capable of. But in the movie, it's just like, I think it just seems like, really somewhat lackluster that he spends like 2 minutes on the internet and then decides to decimate all of humanity. But with Ada, it feels like, her having read the Darkhold, her having had this original purpose, and now going down this newer path, it feels like a lot more enticing and a lot more interesting. So I'm hoping they maintain that kind of arc for her. So I guess we'll see. But he has an Ada 2.0. He has an Ada 2.0, and he told her exactly like everything that happened, including that her original version was destroyed, and then that he wanted his hands on the Darkhold all along, but now, after what happened now, like especially what happened with Ada, that like they'll never let Radcliffe near the Darkhold again, knowing what he did, because he was the one who created Ada, and he kind of helped get her into S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything. So yeah, we had that stuff going on. So we have an Ada 2.0 now, and they still have the real May in their own kind of captivity, unconscious and everything, whilst the LMD May is still within S.H.I.E.L.D., being passed off as the actual kind of being passed off as the real Mace. So also looking forward to seeing where they go with that. So we had that stuff with Ada and Radcliffe, and like the team kind of struggling to hold the base against her and trying to keep the Darkhold from her and everything. So that was a fun plotline for the episode. We also had Mace, Daisy, and Simmons actually going on their own little mission to try and rescue VJ from Nadia's custody. So that was cool too, and I did have a fairly lengthy moment where I thirsted over just seeing Gemma, Gemma/Elizabeth once again in a suit. You know what? Don't judge me. She looked amazing. And this show can do no wrong, and it also has no mercy. This show and the people involved have no mercy when it comes to their stars and making them look good. So don't judge me. But she looked great, and they ended up kind of failing in their overall mission of actually they ended up failing in their overall mission of actually kind of rescuing him from them, and in the end it was revealed that he actually did have powers. He fought back against the watchdogs who were told by their superior to actually to eliminate him, and he actually had, like, I think I couldn't tell if it was actually super speed or super reflexes. I think it was mainly reflexes. It was mainly him actually kind of using like speed to counter attack. So it wasn't like he wasn't like running around the place like Yo-Yo, but he was still kind of reacting faster than most normal or like the average human would. So it was like it definitely like you know, was passed off as superhuman, but it wasn't like Batman levels, but it was like beyond Batman. Like you'd actually see him using enhanced speed to block attacks and do counterattacks and everything. So he did have powers in the end. He did have powers, and then in the end, Ellen did kind of coax him onto the helicopter with the same Watch Dogs leader, and then she killed him herself. And then they dumped his body in the river, and then that was where the twist came. So they dumped his body in the ocean, and then his as what I can only assume was like some kind of self-defense mechanism from the Inhuman side of him. Like he then just kind of relapsed into like a secondary husk. Like he was in like one husk for 7 months, then he came out with powers, and now, you know, after having been shot pretty fatally and then dumped in the ocean to drown, or at least for his corpse to drown, his body then relapsed into like another cocoon. So yeah, I don't know what that means, because again, like that was like an actual cocoon, like that was like another Inhuman husk, not like him turning to stone like from the obelisk or anything. Like it was actually him going into another husk. So I don't know if that means they're gonna be bringing him back, or if they're gonna be resolving his story somewhere, or if they're just kind of Steve Rogersing him and leaving him there for like 70 to 100 years or something. But I don't know. Either way, I am curious to know where they go with that. And then now Nadia has now solidified her allegiance with the Watchdogs and their mentalities, and shown that she is not growing soft against Inhumans, that she still hates them as much as ever. So that's another threat. That's just pretty much the same amount of threats that needs to be kind of monitored and taken care of. So that stuff was not so fun. So yeah, those were pretty much the two main things that happened in the last episode. But yeah, so going forward, we'll see exactly how this new Ada kind of like exactly what Radcliffe gets up to with this new Ada, and how they kind of use the LMD made within S.H.I.E.L.D. to get the Darkhold, because Radcliffe still wants the Darkhold. He still wants that damn book. So we can see how he fares with that, and then seeing how the rest of the team moves forward with whatever new missions they get. And maybe, I mean, hopefully, because I think, you know, because like Howard could never find Steve in the ice. He like they never managed to find Steve inside the wreckage, because I think they could never actually find the wreckage. So I'm hoping with newer, more modern technology, I'm hoping Fitzsimmons and Daisy actually manage to find VJ and actually manage to rescue him and get him out of there before anyone else does. So I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see. But that is pretty much all I've got from the last one. So on to episode 10 of this fantabulous season. And yeah, on to the reaction. So this one will just be the highlights, the best bits, the shorter version of the reaction. But if you guys want to catch the full-length version, the full unedited reaction for the episode, then that one will be over on Patreon. So you can go check that out over there. So that will be fun too. But yeah, on to episode 10. Let's go.
Some seek out justice in the face of danger, even if it means living life in the shadows.
Quake, will you marry me? No, she won't.
Daisy Johnson, one of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s most dedicated agents.
This is a recognition well deserved. Quake is my something. That woman had a jumper. I want to know what's on that jumper.
Undercover,
yeah, put the poster down, buddy. Yeah.
Everyday citizens. When watchdogs.
Oh no. Sniper. Yeah, I figured sniper. Oh. Oh, jeez. What kind of bullet was that? An explosive bullet. An explosive bullet. Okay. Coulson and Matt go like the Men in Black. Yeah. And who the hell is this sniper? Oh, that was so good. That was so good. Okay. Oh, keeping this title card, I see. Yeah, very good title card. Yeah. And that's Ada's head. Okay.
Don't go near it.
Yeah, it's like Medusa's head. Yeah, from Percy Jackson.
You, get Lee Harvey whatever to talk. You, find out if Burroughs
You and you, they have names, Talbot.
Hey, with the hair.
Give me a coffee. You are the single most intimidating woman I've ever met. I need answers. You can get them.
One of her finest qualities. One of her finest qualities.
If I could just get a couple of bars, I could see if we're trending.
Oh! Whoa. Goodbye, Burroughs. Holy crap. Goodbye, Burroughs. Oh my. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. A tree just went right through him.
He's dead.
Went right through him.
First we find Burroughs.
Are you kidding?
Burroughs, sir. The chance of him surviving is
The shield doesn't leave a man behind.
The dude flew out the plane at like
You really think this is our best move?
sky high. I don't think he survived any kind of flight. Like, even if he landed in the water, there's like minimal chances of that helping him survive.
You would have been exposed.
I was exposed when they found a corpse.
If I terminate anyone else for your protection, I will dispose of the body more discreetly.
No, don't
Yeah.
terminate anyone.
Settings down to something a little less lethal.
I can't help but love her. I can't help but love her.
My apologies.
Yeah.
I'm the highest ranking agent here, and contingency protocols grant me greater access if the director is missing in action.
I know that. I wrote the damn protocols.
He
Besides,
did?
I have an assignment for you.
But I could
Talbot
not do
wrote
this
the
as
shield-
file
the
for
new
any
shield
leads
protocols?
If we've overlooked any enemies.
You all have jobs to do.
That's his ringtone, really.
Excuse me, I need to update the leader of the free world.
That's his ringtone. Oh boy, okay. Oh god. Oh well, she's still waking up. She's still waking up. Oh god, it's all the way up in her brain. Oh no. Oh god. Oh damn. She really has that strength. Oh no. Oh, oh Jesus. Oof. Oh, right in the leg. Oh, sedated once again. Oh, god damn it, so close. But damn, Ada can really pick up just like that. She can really pick you up and pin you against the wall.
Relaxing simulation.
She was in a day spa getting a hot stone massage.
No, that is not
What did you
her.
make the stones?
No, that is not her environment at
I
all.
did exactly as you
May is not about relaxation. Put her in combat mode or something.
At least you didn't snap her neck, so that's an improvement. Fetch some restraints. You may have misjudged what it takes.
So you're allowed to touch Lola? A few minutes out.
I mean, I'd believe that. I would believe that. When he's not around, yeah.
An early mission of ours, maybe in Madrid. He gave me the keys and told me not to let anyone else know.
Again, doesn't sound implausible. Does not sound implausible.
I can make Siberia feel like a luau if you don't start giving me some answers.
Siberia. Project Patriot.
This section of Mace's file.
Burroughs is always following the director about with that briefcase.
Yeah, so it must be something to do with Patriot.
Not very
Must be his suit,
Well,
maybe.
I'm
His
telling you,
suit. If it's physical material, then it must be his
want to get into
suit.
this right now with me.
Maybe, yeah. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh. Okay. Okay, biometrics. Oh, oh wait, is it a serum? Is it a serum of some kind? Oh no. Did you just shoot him in the butt cheek? Did he just shoot Mace in the butt cheek?
He doesn't have inhuman powers. He doesn't have powers at all.
He's not even inhuman. He needs the serum. Oh my god. Talk about a revelation. Jesus, he's not inhuman.
Thanks. Well, the decision was made that the new director had to be enhanced. No candidate fit that criteria,
Really?
so we made one.
Not a
You started
single
the
one.
Askin program.
There's no program. We used a modified version of that formula you confiscated from Agent Johnson's father.
Oh, that serum. Are you
I
serious?
thought I'd just stop, Cal. The guy nearly killed us.
We're not idiots. We took the bad stuff out.
Like the peppermint?
Anyway,
Oh, okay. So you're just mostly idiots.
no need to be so melodramatic, Poppins, but yeah, that's it.
Fizz, is there any other way to fix this?
Okay, Poppins is kind of a cute nickname, but I hate that Talbot is the one to give it to her. Use the head. Could show him a headless Ada. Show him a headless Ada. Like Medusa, like an actual Medusa head.
What are you thinking?
Show him Ada's head. Yeah.
What's that saying you're so fond of at Hydra?
Oh, take off one head. Nothing grows in its place. You just, you know, remain with one head. Yeah. Oh, that is such a good job. Such a good job. Yeah. Cut off one head. No more head. Yeah. You still gonna put him in that suit? You're still gonna put him in it?
Director.
You heard the part where I don't have powers, right?
Yeah. But they don't know that.
Doesn't mean they're not going to still try and kill him. People still shoot at Captain America, even though he's an actual super soldier, and he still has a shield.
It's a cure for Inhumans. Hold your fire.
Oh, okay.
I don't suppose she told you how much this was worth.
The suit still looks good.
Like
Can't lie. The suit still looks pretty cool.
Put your guns down and we'll talk this through.
Oh boy, okay. That worked. Oh, the shield comes in. The shield comes in. I really wish he could throw it. I really wish he could throw it and then have it come back. Yeah.
It's not an axe.
Oh, it's a freaking hatchet. A hatchet. Oh, and scissors. A hatchet versus scissors. Oh, chains. Oh, if only Robbie were here. Oh, she's here. She's here. She's here. Come on, May, don't get any injuries. I mean, do or do, I don't know. I don't know whether to root for this May or not. Oh. Oh, she's got an injury now. Yeah, oh, she bent it. She didn't even, she bent it. She literally bent the blade. Oh, God, okay.
If we wanted to accept the simulation, we need to give her an opponent to fight, an enemy to vanquish, a dragon to slay.
Shall I design a dragon?
No.
Yes, I would love to see May in shining armor slaying a dragon. Please give me that. Please give me May in shining armor. Just, yeah, May in shining armor. Please. Please.
Thank you, Fitz.
Oh, Fitz. Oh, Fitz, you're still working on Ada, really?
Let's never look at that awful thing again.
Yeah. Although you never know.
Leopold
you might get a
Fitz.
godfather and somebody else. Is it weird that I found that attractive?
Yes.
No, trust me, I did too. I did too. You're not alone.
You handled Talbot like a pro.
You're not alone.
Please.
The president tasked me with finding the next Captain America. Not an easy job, but I did it.
Really? Were
I
those his
delivered a
words?
Patriot, a
Were those his
bona fide
specific
American
words?
hero.
The Patriot?
That man could have done anything after Vienna.
I wanted to get to safety. I tripped.
You tripped.
I didn't even know she was there.
Oh, so he wasn't even actively trying to save anyone.
So you just went with it.
Oh, God, Mace, is anything about you
I was
genuine?
being modest.
Is there anything about you genuine, Mace?
They were treating me. Thought I could be the face to end inhuman prejudice.
And you wanted to help.
I thought I could. I believe that Inhumans deserve the same rights as anyone else in this country.
Okay, well that's still admirable and respectable. That's still good. Yeah, baseline stuff, but
I'll call a
still,
press conference.
still pretty great.
Defend S.H.I.E.L.D. to the public. Play the hero. Keep the title. Handle the politics. I never loved that part anyway. But when it comes to operations, make no mistake. From now on, I'm calling the shots.
Yeah, he will be Mace's second in command. Coulson will be Mace's second in command. Was she injured? Oh, she was injured. Oh, she was injured, and there's synthetic blood. Yeah, and the wiring and the plating and everything. Oh, but May doesn't know. May doesn't know she's an LMD.
Hey, are you sure you're okay? Never better.
Now this May knows the truth. Oh, god damn. God damn. Oh boy, so that was an episode. That was an episode. So yeah, I think there's plenty to talk about for this one. Plenty. And plenty to talk about. That's one of the downsides of wearing lip balm, or even lip gloss if you wear lip gloss. Just, you know, you try and do a cute little hair spin, you get strands stuck on your lips and it ends up cutting them out. Anyway, back to the episode stuff. So we had Talbot returning. After, I can't remember how long it's been. I think he was definitely there. I think he wasn't there towards the end of season 3. I don't think he was not there towards the end of season 3. He was, I think, a bit before. I think because like literally, the last thing I remember from Talbot was literally this, like the same episode where they actually sent Lash, like the same episode we actually lost Lash in, like the same episode that we actually lost Lash to James, and like the episode they actually sent Lash to fight Hyven and to rescue Daisy in, which was, I can't remember what episode that was, but it was when James killed him using the fire chains and everything. So that was the last one, because I think that was when Coulson was actually showing him around the base and introducing him to everyone and getting stuff ready for like Inhuman registration and all that kind of jazz. So that is literally the last episode I remember him being in. If he was in any episodes after that, then it's, I've forgotten completely. So and it's like, I think it's also just I think it's also because if he wasn't anything after that, then like his presence may not have been that much like as prominent, because I think in that episode he was also like, he was still fairly prominent too. He was actually being shown by Coulson. He was being shown around the Shield base and stuff. So so he was there for like an actual kind of plot-worthy kind of reason, and he was actually shown more prominently in that episode for that reason. So I think we haven't really seen him since then. Never really saw him in the post of season 3, and then season 4, it's just Talbot's gone. Like he's not really being brought back for any reason. So this one was an interesting way and a reason to bring him back too. So Talbot, I think, and again, that's the thing that I like Talbot. I honestly, right, as annoying as I sometimes find Talbot, like as annoying and as just annoying, just as annoying and as frustrating as I find Talbot to be sometimes, his reaction to meeting new heroes, to meeting new powered people, is honestly one of the best things. Like him meeting Lash, him meeting Daisy with her new powers, him meeting he called him Electro Boy. No, Lincoln. Like he called Lincoln Electro Boy, and him discovering Elena's powers, like him discovering people's powers, him discovering superpowered people's powers, was one of the best things. Like his reaction to actually kind of like to meeting those people and to seeing their powers in action. So I think I would have loved to see what his reaction to Ghost Rider would have been. Like, that would have sent him off the rails. Like it took literally the rest of the with the rest of the Shield team having more experience with dealing with Inhumans, like meeting someone completely outside of that threshold with powers from hell was something completely different to them, and a lot of them even refused to believe that Robbie was saying the truth. So just imagine Talbot meeting Ghost Rider. That would have been the funniest and most dramatic shit that this show has ever pulled. It would have been the best. It would have been. I'm sincerely hoping both Robbie and Talbot return at some point later this season and actually get to meet each other, and then Robbie can show him his thing. I so badly want to see Talbot seeing the Ghost Rider in action and being like, what the fuck? Like, have you guys been hiding this from me? Have you guys just never told me you befriended a fucking skull-faced demon from hell or some shit? But like, it would literally be the best stuff. It would literally be the best stuff. I really badly want to see that. I really badly want to see Talbot of all people meeting the Ghost Rider and having to come to terms with the fact that hell, or at least like another dimension that resembles and is portrayed and is actually maybe even the one to actually inspire the mythology of hell. Because I think there's a lot of stuff, like the way the MCU goes, there's a lot of stuff in this that inspires further mythology. Like I think they actually confirmed back in season 1 that Norse mythology is based off of like the aliens of Asgard, because like technically they are aliens, but then they're also godlike because of their kind of culture and their attire and their powers and everything. So like Norse mythology is based off of them, and the Kree were ancient. Like the Kree came to Earth back in ancient times, so they were described as like blue angels and everything. So they had that thing going on. So I think like hell in this case, I think being like Mephisto's realm. I guess Mephisto's realm isn't exactly hell, but it is like the most accurate kind of thing in their reality, in their kind of like in their kind of realm that would actually come close to being hell, and Mephisto being the devil and everything. So then like Talbot having to literally come to terms with the fact that hell exists. Is like, is there a heaven? Like, is it like like that must be where I'm going? I can't possibly envision myself going to hell, so there must be a heaven, right? There must be some kind of heavenly angel superhero out there, maybe. I mean, we have Angel the X-Man, we have the X-Men Angel, but I mean, X-Men is nowhere near fruition in this timeline, or at least at this point in the timeline. So yeah, and I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ended long before any of the Fantastic Four or X-Men stuff were gonna come into effect. So I mean, I think that would I think yeah, like the Fantastic Four. I think like given how well they've dealt with Inhumans and how well they've actually dealt with that kind of story, I feel like the Fantastic Four would also be a good like a Fantastic Four and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. would be a good enough kind of crossover to have too. Maybe X-Men too, like mutants with also like humans who come into contact with like cosmic radiation and stuff like people who I think because like mutants would be similar-ish. Like, I think like definitely the way they've been handling the Inhuman storyline in this show has been pretty kind of reminiscent of how the X-Men stuff goes down with like civil rights and Inhumans versus humans and stuff like that. So it's very very similar. But then I think it would be pretty like I think I think it gives you a taste as to as to what the X-Men stuff would be like handled within the MCU in the movies. So and then the Fantastic Four, like humans turned into enhanced people through cosmic radiation. That would be Fitzsimmons' forte. Fitzsimmons' forte would be actually allying and dealing with the Fantastic Four, actually analyzing them and stuff. Now I really want Fitzsimmons in the Fantastic Four movie. Now I really badly want Fitzsimmons in the Fantastic Four movie. I don't know, like Reed maybe. I think Reed, despite Reed being the smartest man in the MCU, he still kind of feels like it's still suitable to call on some outside allies and outside kind of contacts, and then he contacts two of the smartest people he knows from S.H.I.E.L.D., like an old organization that had a rocky journey and everything, so then he calls in Fitzsimmons. Oh my god. I feel like I'm setting myself up for disappointment. I feel like I'm really setting myself up for disappointment, being like, oh god, I can't wait to see them in the movie, and then they're not there, and it's like, yep, you only have yourself to blame here, Power, because it's going to be all those people who hyped themselves up with Mephisto and Reed Richards appearing in WandaVision and then complaining at the end, like, no, you disappointed yourself. You set yourself up for disappointment right there. There was no, no direct references, no hard cemented theories that could have actually been proven right. So you only have yourself to blame. So I feel like that's exactly what I'm doing here. I'm hyping myself up for the possibility of seeing Fitzsimmons in the Fantastic Four movie, only to never have it happen. And then I'm just gonna be like, well, this is nowhere near as good as I could have hoped. But I don't know. But I really badly want that. But either way, Talbot. So Talbot is back. So Talbot meeting Ghost Rider would have been amazing. I really because I mean we're near the end of season 4, so I'm hoping there's still opportunity and room for that to happen. Hopefully they still come back and everything. So he came back and he also designed the new S.H.I.E.L.D. protocols. Apparently, like Simmons actually kind of informed him about how whoever the assassins were knew about the S.H.I.E.L.D. protocols and stuff like that. And then he said, he knows because he wrote the damn thing. So he actually did. I mean, given how much involvement he had with Mace's induction as the director, anyhow, that doesn't really kind of surprise me too much that he had a helping. He said he wrote the damn thing. I don't know if he actually meant he wrote it all himself, or he actually just had an assisting hand, like he had some input of his own or something. But regardless, he did do the. I think, or maybe the specific protocols too, maybe not all of them, but the one specific to whatever happens if the director comes under an assassination attempt or comes under any kind of public harm or physical danger in the public face, so where to take him, what to do, and who to contact and everything. So those kinds of emergency kind of protocols would probably be kind of assisted by Talbot. So but Talbot is back, and he again, and just annoying as ever in this episode. It's Talbot. It's Talbot. You kind of expect that at this point. You definitely kind of expect that. But Talbot's back, and then so then we discover the truth. About Mace. So I think this is a revelation I honestly never would have seen coming. I never would have seen this revelation coming. I'm surprised. I mean, as soon as you open up the case and it showed those 2 vials with the syringes, I'm honestly, shocked I didn't actually discover it sooner. Because then again, I was expecting to given how he said it was classified, I was expecting it's either one of those briefcases that's has a laptop inbuilt into it, so then you open it up and you can do whatever, or maybe it's actually something physical like paperwork or documents, or like maybe his Patriot suit. Maybe his suit is literally in there, so he can't let that get into the wrong hands and stuff. And it's not completely wrong. His suit was in there, but it's also what actually pumps up the flesh and blood underneath the suit too. So is that this? I think that just sounds like a weird way to phrase it, but I mean, yeah, it's what gives the wearer of the suit the enhancements required to actually be the suit. So yeah, there we go. That's a better way to phrase it. But yeah, Mace is not inhuman. Mace is not an inhuman after all. So, oh boy, this just, yeah, I honestly don't. I think I do know how to feel, but then at the same time I don't know how to feel either, because it's like like he I think it's definitely more kind of fraudulency on Talbot's end, because he's the one who came up with that whole idea, and then he actually actively, encouraged Mace into it. Like Mace from the end of it, he even said at the end of it, powers or no powers, he still believes in the same things. He still believes in human equality and in human rights and everything. He still believes in those same ideals. He wants people, inhuman or human, to just get along on the same planet and just live their lives in peace. He still believes in those things. So I think deep down, I think there's this like that scene alone does show that Mace deep down he's still a good guy. He wants to try and be a good guy, and he wants to actually try and help people in the best way that he can with the tools and knowledge at his expense. But he's just not the image that he's been hyped up to be in the public eye. And I think deep down he does he maybe does feel like a certain level of shame for that, because then he still wants to be recognized as who he is. He wants to be recognized as Jeffrey Mace. But then Talbot being Talbot, he was asked by the president and the U.S. government actually to find the new Captain America. That just has the Falcon and Winter Soldier written all over it. And it's essentially the same fucking plotline too. Finding a guy who doesn't have any. I mean, in this case, they actively do give him a serum. Like with John Walker, they never gave him a serum. Like they just made sure that the guy they found was already at peak kind of human physicality and everything. So with that one, John himself, he actually took the serum of his own accord. But with this one, I think with this one too, that they are doing like a full-on rebrand. So like it's not even trying to pass him off as Captain America. He is the Patriot. So with this one, it's somewhat more acceptable. And also Jeffrey Mace, like a somewhat like an actual more like a likable guy too. John Walker. Well, you've seen the show. Hopefully you've all seen the show, so you know exactly what the kind of thoughts are on that. But with this one, they actively, I think, and it's like, I don't know what I think, honestly, I can't get that parallel, I can't get that parallel out of my head now. With this one, it's like, the president told Talbot to find the new Captain America, so then, Talbot then found Mace and offered him this chance, and then gave him the serum as well. But then with that one, it's like the government just being explicitly dickish and going behind everyone's backs, and then introducing this new Cap that looks like he just walked out of Walmart or something. So there's that. But yeah, I think that parallel, I can't get that out of my head now. But I think with this one though, it's like it literally also is the fact that Mace himself is a good guy. He's not he was never a soldier. I don't think he was never a soldier. He was always more political and politically driven and politically minded. So with this one, he is, like a spot within the U.S. government, but he's also a good man. He's like, I think that's also like an interesting individual kind of characteristic too. Like the fact that with Steve, I think Steve was fairly politically minded too. Like, but he just never was in politics. Like he never actually. It doesn't really seem like he ever actually wanted to go into politics to kind of to make change that way. But he wanted to go to the front line and serve and do his own thing of his own accord. But with Mace, it's like he might have some he might have some military background that I'm either forgetting or that hasn't yet been mentioned. But for the most part, his most significant history is his kind of his service record within the U.S. government and kind of in politics and stuff. So because of that, he's like a memorable face, and he has the words, he has the power to speak and make change verbally. So there's that. But then again, with Mace, he is like he's shown that he is actually like trying to actively be a good guy and trying to help all people in the best way that he can, and to lead Shield into a brighter kind of tomorrow. So I think that much about him is admirable. And yeah, the truth behind the Vienna picture too. The truth behind that picture. Oh God, I think, I think playing that back in my head is like I can't help but cringe. But even then, it's just like, wow, and like again, like I said, was it like is anything about you genuine, Mace? Like he apparently tripped and fell, and then I think he was maybe either holding on to something or he was holding something back, and then he was literally in the right place at the right time. Someone thought he was actually saving a woman from being crushed by rubble, which I think in that case, I mean, I think maybe you might question how he still had the strength to do that, but then with everything going on, there's no there's no doubt you'd just be pumping with adrenaline, so he wouldn't even know exactly what you're capable of. So he kind of had that kind of going for him too, and then it looks good enough, and it looks like a hero shot too. So that was snapped, and then he even tried. I think this is the power of Mace, like looking the way he is, and Mace being who he is. Like he even tried. To tell people like, oh, like it literally like I had no idea she was there. It like I didn't, not that he didn't want to save her, but he didn't mean to save her. He didn't actually mean to try and like be in that situation. But then it's like, oh, he's just being modest. He's such a hero. He's so humble beginnings and brighter, more patriotic endings and everything. So people thought he was being modest, and then gave him even more praise, like, oh, he won't even accept compliments and praise, oh, he's such a modest and humble man, he's the one we should all be looking up to, and all that kind of jazz. So, and again, like, you can't really hate Mace for that either, because I think the public, if they find, and I think it's partially blameable on the public, but also kind of like not blameable, because I think the public obviously want someone they can look up to. They're like they definitely want a hero, but then I think sometimes some people do definitely go far enough with that like when they see anyone doing like something like this, then they just go and run with like they refuse to listen to the person who's actually telling them like, oh, seriously, no, I did not mean to be in this situation. I'm glad she's alive, but I had no idea she was there. I didn't actually know I was saving anyone. I didn't really mean to save anyone and stuff like that. So they just treat that as modesty, and then be like, oh yeah, this is our new hero, someone who conveniently saved someone in like a split second before they died a horrible, gory, brain-crushing death and everything. So the Vienna picture is a fake, and I think it kind of hurts too, like knowing how long he's been parading that around. Like even Daisy last episode, he even said like, oh, it's like like he was even telling Daisy like, wow, that it's really nothing. It's a simple heroic looking shot, but it's seriously nothing. Like they give me a lot more credit than I deserve. And then Daisy, not knowing any better, Daisy actually said, okay, you don't get to be modest, but then also have like a hero glamour shot in your office, framed and nicely visible and everything. So he literally even told Daisy like, trust me, they gave me way too much credit for that one simple incident. So you kind of can't help but feel sorry for Mace, but at the same time, it's like I think with him too, like I feel like deep down he felt like this would like any other way, like any other route to helping people probably wouldn't get him as far, maybe, or maybe he felt like this was the quickest route to being in that kind of position where he could make a difference. So it's like it's literally not even for the attention, not even for the glamour or the heroism or the fame or anything. Like he couldn't really care less about that. But then he still wanted to get to a position where he could still make a difference. And then Talbot came along with a solution that he didn't fully agree with, but then it was like like the ends kind of justify the means, and he's willing to risk it. He's willing to kind of go there and do that. And it's like again, like being in that moment too, the mindset would be, okay, so long as no one finds out that I'm not really inhuman. So yeah, and then he even coming out on national TV saying like he is inhuman, like putting like an unnecessary target on his back too, and then drawing more heat to him too. That kind of brings a whole new light to that scene too, and like the kind of depth and meaning behind that scene. Just, oh boy, yeah. So then I wonder if he's gonna have like another scene after that too. Like if then at some point he's gonna feel like it's better for the world to know the real truth, and then maybe he's gonna hold like another press conference announcing that he's actually not inhuman, and maybe even demonstrate that without the serum he has like regular human strength and stuff. So yes, I think, I don't know if that's in the books, if he actually does kind of. I mean, I'm kind of hoping he does, because then it would bring like an air more like some more of like an air of honesty about his character, that he actually does feel like, like for one thing, if he's like, if the, because again, like I think what one of the things that got to me, right, was Talbot literally saying that that like no actual Inhumans fit the criteria for being the director of Shield. Like Coulson recommended to the president that the next face of Shield, the next director, should be a powered person. And of course, in that current climate, like the most prominent powered people were Inhuman, so then no Inhuman person fit that criteria. So yeah, I'm thinking, I think no characters really come to mind, but I am thinking if there were any other non-Inhuman characters that they could have introduced outside of Ghost Rider, because Ghost Rider definitely wouldn't want to be director of Shield. Robbie in Ghost Rider wouldn't want to be director. And then couple of episodes ago, there was that quip that Daisy made about being like, well, Coulson said, like, oh, I never meant it should be him. He actually had Daisy in mind for being the director, and then Daisy made that comic book reference of being the director in the comics and everything. So yeah, I think, at that point, Daisy was on the run, so she was distancing herself from being an agent of Shield, let alone being the director. So she was a no-show either. So I am kind of curious as to whether or not there were any other characters from the comics that they could introduce to try and be that kind of Inhuman or not. Because again, he said powered person. He never specified Inhuman. So I think it makes me feel deep down like Coulson kind of had the idea like, okay, we've dealt with like expansive lists before, so there's no guarantee that Inhumans are the only powered people out there. So maybe there's someone else who's not really limited by any inhumanity, or who could actually still be like a fairly kind of representative for diverse kind of powered groups and everything. So yeah, nothing really comes to mind, but if you guys have any ideas for any powered people you think would be good for directors of Shield, or any other powered people in the comics who have been directors of Shield, then comments are open. Do let me know. But yeah, so I think like Coulson recommended that powered person should be the new face of Shield, and then Talbot almost immediately came to the conclusion that no Inhuman really fit that criteria. So to me that just smells BS, because it's like, surely there must be someone out there who is Inhuman and is also interested in actually using their voice to make the world a better place for their own kind too, and like for actually I think Inhuman allies surely exist out there too, and would believe in coexistence and cooperation and peace between humans and Inhumans and stuff. It honestly just seems like some kind of power. It honestly just seems like it almost just feels like some kind of weird cop out for him to just be able to use Mace, because he's the one he had in mind anyway. Like, oh, we'll just like shoot him up with a new serum and then pass him off as Inhuman and then have him in power, and he'll do exactly what he needs to. Because I think Mace, like he already met Mace, and Mace already had the hero thing going for him. So he already had the public's interest and attention that way. So then Mace was the easiest person to use going forward from there, and then he'd already had that kind of background. But then anyone else would actually, might not be easy. Anyone else may not be as easy to market, maybe. So I feel like that could have definitely kind of held some factor in the decision-making process. And yeah, this serum. Let's talk about the serum. Let's talk about this super soldier serum. So for one thing, it is interesting that it's actually Mace actually claimed that it's actually uniquely coded to his DNA. So it won't. So I don't know if that means that it won't work on anyone else, or if it might harm anyone else. It's not him, because it's not like one of those kind of fingerprinted guns to even with the guns, it's like either it won't fire, or if you do try and fire, it will just kind of electrocute you and stun you or something. But with the serum, I don't know if it just means it won't work on anyone else, or maybe it won't work to the same extent. But either way, it is kind of uniquely coded to Mace's DNA. And even more fun fact, Talbot admitted that it's a serum derived from the the bootleggiest of bootleg super soldier serums, the one that Cal Johnson, aka Dr. Hyde, is it Dr. Jekyll or Dr. Hyde? Because Jekyll and Hyde are like two alter personalities of the same person. So I don't know if he's Dr. Jekyll or Dr. Hyde, like his name, but either way, Cal Johnson from season 2. It's the same serum that he used to turn into the big kind of guerrillas, because I think that one had like a bunch of I think Simmons literally described it as like the most homemade, low rent kind of super soldier serum you could actually ask for. Like it had like a mixture of like centipede stuff, maybe gorilla testosterone, a bunch of other things, and then like a hint of peppermint. So yeah, so it was derived from that same serum, and apparently, according to Talbot, they took all the bad stuff out and then kind of concentrated it into a more stable, more working version, and also, according to Mace, one coded specifically for his genes. So yeah, so I mean I think that would kind of help to ensure that it wouldn't end up in the wrong hands, and even if it did, that it wouldn't actually work in the wrong hands either. Like that thing, that's actually a fairly smart precaution to take too. So that would have actually been cool to see in the future of the MCU. Like if any any other super soldiers not being able to do what they want to do because the serum doesn't work, but then you wouldn't get the interesting drama and the stories that come with it. So yeah, so the serum, so then yeah, like the whole thing was Talbot's idea, and Talbot feels pretty proud of it, and he refused to apologize for having, not only for having done it, but for also having kept it a secret. Like for anyone else, I think the intel became available afterwards to Gemma, but then previously it was only actually under the clearance accessibility of Talbot, Burroughs, and Mace, yeah, and R.I.P. to Burroughs. Dude went flying out the plane at like God knows how many miles per hour, God knows how many feet in the air, and I think then that him having the case with the serum and everything in it makes more sense as to why Mace would want to go back for him. Because again, like I think. Because even if they were overseas, even periodically, and even if it was then that Burroughs actually went out, like him surviving in the, I think like a human being could actually have a better chance of surviving by falling into the water, but even then it's fairly minimal. Especially if it's like, I think if it's still water, yeah, I think I've actually read somewhere that if it's like still water you're falling into, that's gonna hit you like a ton of bricks. So you'll actually do more damage falling into that. So that's why you have to actually, before you land in the water, you have to actually throw something at the water to break it and cause some kind of movement and more kind of like more fluidity within the water to actually enable you to land in somewhat more safely. But then yeah, but even in Burroughs' case, it's like, you know, I think he definitely still landed in the ground. He still landed. He still had the blood and the kind of marks to show that. But yeah. But then even if he did land in the water, he would have to make sure he could swim ashore on time too. And I don't think it's like shark infested waters. I don't think they'd be going that far. So that much would be lucky times for him. But either way, it wasn't so much for him denying Burroughs' death as much as it was for the fact that Burroughs was literally handcuffed to the suitcase, and that didn't even stop the watchdogs. They were no less afraid to no less determined to actually just go ahead and chop his hand right off, and then try and take the suitcase that way, and then cover up the body and everything. So we've lost Nathanson and we've lost Burroughs. So R.I.P. to both of them, and even like the team actively reeling in from that death too. Like Fitz actually mentioned having thrown them having actually organized a funeral for Nathanson. So now they're gonna have to do the same for Burroughs too. So yeah, Shield agents are dying. Left and right. So not the best time to be a Shield agent, or at least, you know, not the best time to be a Shield agent outside of the inner circle. If you're inside the inner circle, then that means you're mostly good to go. But if you're outside of it and you only have like a couple of lines per episode or every few episodes, then don't really get too attached to the show. You're probably not going to last too long. So yeah, but still, R.I.P. to Burroughs. He was the PR. I mean, even on that plane, he was the PR guy. He still kind of focused more on the kind of attention that Matt Mace would get from using the podium to defend everyone and throwing it up in the air and stuff. So, you know, he was the PR guy. He wasn't really meant to be too likable. He was always focused more on like numbers and statistics and media attention and everything. So, but he still didn't deserve to die. He didn't deserve to die just because of that. So, R.I.P. to Burroughs. So, yeah. Also interesting to note that, you know, I think Talbot mentioned that he never actually intended for he never actually intended for Mace to be all too combat oriented. Like he literally said that, we never really gave him that strength to actively fight battles that much, but mostly just to kind of lift it. Like basically, essentially, what the U.S. military and government planned for Steve back in the 40s after he turned out to be the only successful result of the super soldier serum. They turned him into a poster boy. They had him lifting the motorcycle. Like that was the most kind of strength inducing or kind of strength using thing they actually ended up having him do, just lifting it, I think 2 or 3 women on like a motorcycle, like one of them standing, 2 sitting, and then him lifting over his head as they sang the song and everything. So I think for Mace, Talbot said it was like a similar-ish kind of thing. Like I think Mace did say he gave him some basic combat training, so like hand-to-hand maybe, and some like firearm training, but nothing too extensive, because again, he was never actively meant to go into battle. So I think that episode we got with the end of Robbie and Eli, I think that must have been the most kind of the most he's done in terms of combat. Like with that one, he didn't really have to worry maybe too much about hand-to-hand combat because he already had the increased strength from the serum. So then he knew just throw like some block and punch. That's like really basic stuff too. So that could have come in really handy, and especially with super strength too, you don't have to worry too much about using fancy martial arts like Melinda or Daisy or anyone else. So for that one, he just kind of had to throw punches and try not to kill, but still kind of incapacitate and knock them out and everything. So yeah, like he was never meant to do too much. He was never meant to do too much or to be too much. Mostly just be the face of S.H.I.E.L.D. and be the inhuman face of S.H.I.E.L.D. too. So yeah, and now it seems that Coulson is happy enough. I think again, Coulson never really hated him, but he definitely had his kind of trust issues in the end, and I think even now he still kind of has his own issues. But deep down, he's able to identify that Mace is actually a good guy, and he's able to lead and actually be the face of the agency efficiently. But then on the one condition that when it comes to the actual missions and the operations, Coulson calls the shots because he's had experience. Like he even admitted he never really liked the politics. He never really liked being the face in that sense. So then he's more than happy for Mace to take the reins in that sense. But then when it comes to the actual field operations and the actual missions and doing all that stuff and being Agent Coulson in that sense, he's more than happy to take the reins, and he will like that was his one condition. You can keep being a director because you're great at it, and I'm sure we can find a way to cooperate on that wavelength. But then when it comes to the actual missions, Coulson calls the shots on who goes and who doesn't and what everyone does and stuff like that. So in that case, in that sense, I am very excited to go forward into this season and see exactly how they actually coexist and cooperate and everything, and how how future missions go. And I think it's also kind of it makes me that much more intrigued to see if and when Mace might come out again to the public and be like, okay, yeah, truth be told, I'm actually not I'm not an inhuman. It was all just the serum, but the serum's gone now, and I'm not really taking it anymore. So I'm still just kind of. Well, I wonder if they are. I mean, no, because I don't know actually. Because then again, it would be cool to see if he could still I think so long as he's honest about the serum, I feel like he could still take the serum. He could still be the Patriot. Like in any kind of emergency situation where the team does need Patriot and then they need another powered person on their side, then Mace could easily suit up and maybe go there. Also, obviously not every mission because he does need to be the director. But then in an emergency case, then he can easily kind of drop stuff and then go and be the Patriot. So I think it would still be cool to see the Patriot around. It would still be cool to see that him around and him still being a part of stuff. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. But either way, those are the deals. So Mace leads S.H.I.E.L.D. He leads the agency into the world and actually handles the day-by-day kind of more political kind of operations, and then the actual mission ops and the actual spy stuff Coulson leads, as is his kind of nature and his kind of forte. So it'll be cool to see. It'll be cool to see where they go from there. So yeah. And then we had the stuff with Ada and Radcliffe. So I think interesting, different kind of combination of the Adas we got. So we got a headless Ada that was essentially like a Medusa Ada, and then we got the actual still living, breathing, functional kind of Ada under Radcliffe's kind of supervision. So yeah, Radcliffe and Ada. So yeah, they were still working on actually making sure that May could May would be able to. Like Radcliffe was actually working on getting the kind of getting the right programming into the LMD to get her to use her clearance levels and her trust on Coulson to get the book out of to get the Darkhold out of S.H.I.E.L.D. and into their hands again. So he's a sneaky one, and yeah, and they had the real May. I think in the end, like they actually had her hooked up to like that kind of like mental kind of mind palace kind of thing that would keep her trapped. And yeah, I think it speaks volumes. May is essentially like May is like Dean Winchester. May is like Dean with like the Dean Winchester of this show, where, you know, even in Supernatural, putting Dean in like a happy place like me it doesn't mean that he's going to stay in that kind of a trap or that kind of a trick forever. He thrives in chaos. He thrives in hunting and that kind of drama. So with May, it's the same thing. With May, they made the mistake of giving her a nice hot back massage on like a nice warm beach kind of setting, like giving her something peaceful and tranquil. No, that's like May does not do with that stuff. Like May, and again, it's actually messed up to say, but she does thrive in chaos and combat and like in fighting. So like give her like any even the way Radcliffe said it, like give her enemies to vanquish and people to fight and dragons to slay and everything, and that's what like something like that will keep her occupied. Like her mind, she has trained her mind herself to fight threats all the live long day. So give her something to keep her mind occupied. That is exactly what will do the job for you. So yeah, and yeah, I think listen, yeah, no, I don't think my days of thirsting for the women of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. will ever end. But hey, just putting it out there, if this show ever wants to give me May in shining armor, I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. I'm not saying no. It's like, you know, like the women of this show in suits is one thing. The women of the show in, or at least, you know, May, or at least any of them in shining armor and being knights, or just not even actual knight armor, but just even in like actual body armor and having like, you know, like Daisy's gauntlets so nice and new and shiny and bulky and so powerful and everything. And yeah, even the opening scene. I think that one guy had the "Quake, will you marry me?" board. As relatable as that is, just nuh-uh. but like as relatable as that board was, yeah. That was that, and then I think I'm gonna go back and check. Right, there was a woman with a jumper. I didn't get a chance to read exactly what it said. I didn't get a chance to actually read exactly what it said. God damn it, hold on. Oh, there's a H-E and what looks like an R, so maybe Quake is my hero. Maybe Quake is my hero. See, that I approve of. The woman wearing that pink Quake is my hero jumper. That's cool. That is super duper true, super duper accurate, super duper relatable. Yeah. So yeah, that opening scene was an actual kind of like a hearing to kind of commemorate Quake as an actual hero and to further reintegrate her as an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., or at least to actually confirm that she was an actual hero and not a terrorist like the media were labeling her as before. So that was fun. But yeah, the Quake is my hero. I actually vaguely remember seeing a T-shirt with Quake is my hero on it somewhere, like a T-shirt with actual artwork of Daisy as Quake, and then the text "Quake is my hero." I need to get that T-shirt. But the hoodie is just as cool. So we had that. So yeah, but yeah, like any of the women in shining armor, like body armor or knight's armor or whatever armor, just shining armor. Just kind of at least hint towards it so I can prepare myself, because otherwise I'm gonna flatline right here and now. Suits is hazardous enough for my health, but you know, armor, I'd be flatlining all over the place. So yeah. God, you know, if you're it should not come as a surprise to anyone watching these reactions going forward. It should not come as a surprise. There will not be a single day where I am not just, you know, appreciating or admiring the ladies in the show. And even sometimes the guys look great too. Mac in a suit, I mean, Mac is basically the Dwayne Johnson of this show. He just he fills out his suit. He literally sometimes almost looks too big for a suit, but he still fills out. He still looks dapper as all. Hell, we've had Fitz in a suit sometimes. Coulson, I feel like it's hard. I mean, he looks great in a suit, but I feel like it's harder to compliment him because I think most of the time we see him, he is kind of in a suit, and even in this one. But I think most of this season so far, he's been in the typical kind of shirt and jacket and everything. So he's kind of rocked the more casual look more often than not. But either way, he usually wears a suit anyway. May just kind of has her shield bodysuits and everything, and her jacket and everything. So she is cool. Simmons just. Okay, we remember what happened last episode with Simmons, and even season 3, that red jacket, again, this show has no mercy. So everyone in the show looks great. But they know how to dress their women up, and they know how to fit them into actual admirable kind of body gear and everything. So just going forth, just know that when the time comes, and the time will presumably come many more times from now too, I will be thirsting eternally for the women of this show. So just be aware of that, so you're not it's gonna happen. So but anyway, back to the point. The point was Ada and Radcliffe keeping May locked up and under a mind palace trance. So again, May is like the demon in that sense. You give her enemies. It's like you give her fighting, you give her combat and threats and enemies to face to keep her mind occupied. Because otherwise she's gonna think, wait, this is too peaceful, this is too quiet, this is too nice. This has to be a trick. There has to be a trap of some kind. And then she wakes up and tries to fight back. So then the real May, assuming she actually does still maintain her memories, she then knows that Ada is against her, and Ada is still, and then Ada. Well, I mean, she doesn't even know that the real Ada died. She doesn't know that the first Ada died. She probably assumes that this Ada is the same one who, Radcliffe created to begin with. So but then she actually does know that Ada and Radcliffe were keeping her there under against her will and pretty much illegally, and also that Radcliffe actually encouraged sedating her again, actually using her to further his plans, so she knows that Radcliffe is not to be trusted. So there's that. But oh god, I don't know. This is just one rollercoaster ride of an episode. And then the LMD May, she now has discovered the truth. The LMD May has discovered the truth about her own kind of creation and her own existence, and I thought she would have actually sustained some kind of injury from falling back on that blade, but then it didn't really show it straight away, so then I was curious, did it actually leave a mark, or what happened? And then it actually showed the blades that she fell onto being bent, so I thought, oh, maybe that's a sign then, maybe her skin is that much less penetrable. But then no, she looks in the mirror in her locker and finds out that there's actually a massive gash where she fell onto the blade, and it's actually, so there's the usual skin being torn and the synthetic blood, but then underneath that is the kind of plating and the wiring and everything. So this May has discovered the truth. LMD May, I think this is I feel like this would be the ultimate example of a robot being even a program being designed to pass as human. Not only that, but to actually recognize itself as human, but then it actually looks back on itself and actually finds out different different anomalies, and actually in the end it comes to discover that it's actually not human, and it is just literally a coded program. It's one of those examples what if a robot designed to think it's human then discovers a robot? I don't even know if I'm actually describing that right, but I think there is a situation like an actual kind of, what's the word, like an actual like a philosophy, not a philosophy thing. It's like an actual scenario. It's an actual scenario to actually. It's actually like an age old kind of sci-fi kind of scenario. What if the AI or the program or the robot designed to think of itself as human eventually discovers it's not human, and then starts to kind of go haywire after it discovers after it discovers the truth of its own creation. Because the thing with Ada, she was literally created knowing that she was started off as an AI and then was transferred into an actual android's body. And then she was actually taught to try and actually pass herself off as human to avoid detection. But then with the LMD May, she's been designed to pass off as the real May, to pass off as human. So now she's discovered the truth, and so now I am super duper excited to see where they go with that one, and actually seeing like what does this May do? What does she think now? What does she actually like? Where does she go from here? Does she talk to anyone? Does she actually try and contemplate what's actually happening, or does she just kind of self-destruct or something, or what's actually going to happen? So that should be a very interesting path to explore, actually paired up with an Ada who is fully aware she's an android and actually has to try and pass as human, or at least now, knowing that now this Ada will never be near the S.H.I.E.L.D. team again, she has that much less to worry about, so it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see. And it actually made me think, like, does this May have implanted memories or fabricated memories? Because for one thing, she was sitting inside of Lola, and then that prompted Daisy to actually ask her, like, are you allowed to sit in that thing? Are you allowed to touch Lola? Does Coulson actually give you that permission? I think the thought-provoking thing about that is that it's not implausible. It's not completely implausible, because I think May is the one on the entire team that Coulson has known the longest. He has inexplicable amounts of trust and loyalty towards her and love towards her as well. So, it's not like, at least for me, it's not completely implausible that he actually would trust her with Lola and that he actually would let her drive her. But then May actually starts to actually recite like an example, like some kind of shield in Madrid, shield or some kind of mission in Madrid, and then in secret, Coulson actually gave her the keys and said, "Oh, just don't tell, just don't tell anyone." And we'll be golden. So again, like, it's not completely implausible. I feel like Coulson himself would say, like, you can touch her and you can sit in her, and like, maybe not drive her, but you can touch her and you can sit in her when I'm not around. So when he doesn't, because then if he's around, then he doesn't want to have to like see. He certainly doesn't want to have to see anyone touching Lola, but then he also doesn't want anyone doing it behind his back, because then that just breaks trust. But then if he's not around, then Melinda is the only one he actually trusts to not smudge any paint, or to not to leave behind any fingerprint marks that might ruin it, or to even damage it or break something. So he likes this. I think, again, for me, that's not completely implausible. So it's like it passes for like an actual truth and for something believable. And for the rest of the team too, like, Daisy and Fitzsimmons all know just how close Coulson and May are. So it's not something that they would ever question. So I feel like, again, it's like, does she actually have memories? Like have they given her memories, or like are they in the meantime of them actually putting May in that kind of mind palace trance, are they somehow scanning the rest of her brain for memories that they can use to implant into the LMD May, so that she can actually recall that information on command and continue to pass for the real May, or what's going on, or maybe is it just like pulling out fragments and putting them together to make something believable? So maybe like the Madrid mission did happen, but then that wasn't the mission where he actually gave her the key. Like the mission, or even the occasion where he actually gave her the key and said, "Don't tell anyone," happened at like a completely different time. But then you take those two details and mesh them together, and it's like, oh, we had like a mission in Madrid, and one thing led to another, and then he actually gave me the key and said, "You sure you can drive her, but just don't tell anyone." So I wonder if that's actually the path they went down. Because I think, and especially in the situation that they are, like, they'd like to have to improvise or work quickly or work kind of more efficiently, so then it would mean actually, instead of combing through thoroughly for more detailed memories, which would take longer, just pull different fragments here and there and try and put together something believable and everything. And I think so far she's tricked Coulson. So far she's managed to trick Coulson, so that's like actually saying a lot. That, I mean, on the other hand, though, it's like, and again, I was thinking about this after, I think it was either after the episode with the first review, or the episode after that one, but either one, I was actually thinking to myself, like, like how he caught Agent 33 May out. He actually caught her out on her lie when he asked her out for coffee, and then it's like, oh, May hates coffee, she would never agree to that, she hates it, so that's how he caught her out. So I mean, right now he's not under any kind of suspicion, so then he knows, I think he's not under any suspicion, so he knows not to try and test her. But then I feel like, like him being like that kind of friend towards May, like maybe he'd even tease her with coffee, being like, oh, maybe you want to go for a coffee, and I know how much you love coffee, maybe you want to go out for a coffee or something. So he'd try and invite her for that, and then she'd like do like the whole like punching him in the arm thing, or passing it like playing it off as like a joke, or like maybe something playful, like some kind of interaction as playful and as kind of like jokey as that, like maybe he might pull that, but then the LMD might not know that that's actually one of her tells, and then she might slip up, and then that might actually break the trust as well. Or maybe May actually decides to try out coffee and ends up enjoying it, I don't know, but either way, I think point still stands. Point still stands. She has managed to trick Coulson, so that much is going well enough. And then the rest of the team, they don't know everything about her. Like they don't know the full details of the history between her and Coulson. So they can easily play it riskily enough where they get different fragments from different points in her timeline and mesh them together and pass it off as an actual plausible memory, unless Daisy and Simmons actually remember her having told the story differently before, and then now she's telling it in a completely different way. But I don't know. I guess in the future that is actually something that happens. Maybe it's actually how they catch her out on something, and maybe it's how they actually discover that she's not real. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But this one, either way, so far this May has actually proven herself useful, and she's actually passing herself off. And I think again, it's hard, like knowing she doesn't really mean any harm. She also doesn't mean that like she's literally just meant to be a substitute that the Radcliffe is eventually going to use to get the Darkhold. But deep down, I don't really think she means any harm. Like she's a lot. She's very different from Ada, so because of that, I feel like she doesn't really mean any harm. So I think it's more conflicting because I don't know. I don't know whether to root for her during fights or anything, or whether to kind of like root against her or something. Because again, like if she does sustain injuries, as we've seen, it kind of she discovers the truth, and then eventually somewhere down the line, someone else discovers the truth. Like maybe if she actually gets shot in battle and someone tries to tend to her wounds, and they're just like, wait. Why is there metal plating and wires where your muscles and veins and skin and like flesh is supposed to be and everything? So like maybe someone catches her out that way. So I don't know whether to root for her or what to do. But either way, I am intrigued as all hell to see where this story and where this character is taken. So yeah, so LMD May. It'll be fun to see where that goes. And might I add, Ada has strength. Like, she has strength. Like, she obviously doesn't really have... Not to say she doesn't look like she has strength. Her arms are clearly visible. You can definitely see those biceps of hers. But she, again, she doesn't typically look like... I mean, again, even after that scene where she takes out all the other agents and even... throws fists through the window, like she doesn't actively, because I think she doesn't actively look like she actually has the strength. I mean, even that scene surprised me, but I kind of internalized it more than I actually thought to bring it out. But with this one, it is, I don't know what it was. It just seemed a whole lot more visible, like her literally stopping May mid-run, mid-lunge, and then picking her up without not even strain, like anyone else, like you'd see the veins in their neck and their arms actually popping, and them actually just struggling to lift someone up. With Ada, it's just like, whoop, got you now, boom, there we go, and then just pinning her against the wall, like, okay, the pinning against the wall, that got me. The pinning, like the lifting up with one arm was one thing. The pinning against the wall is a whole other territory that, you don't cross unless you're sure that it works. And my God, does it work? My God, does that work? The whole pinning against the wall. That definitely worked, and she did it on May. I think May is not someone you would think you'd be able to pin against the wall, but then Ada android with biceps and triceps and other seps. So Ada is super strong. So, chances are she can do that to anyone. She can do that to anyone. She can likely do that to anyone. Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter what they are. Doesn't matter where they are. Doesn't matter anything. She can do that to anyone that she that she damn well pleases. So yeah, that scene took me by surprise. That scene took me by quite a bit of surprise, and I'm probably gonna have to go watch that back. I'm probably gonna have to go watch that back just to see exactly how swift and fluid it actually was and stuff. But yeah, damn, Ada got strength. Like she could be an Amazon. She could be an Amazon. But yeah, just yeah, just yeah. And I think because she's an android too, because she is literally mechanical wiring and stuff, it actually makes it like she literally doesn't even have to actually show that she's like actually expelling energy or actually using strength. Like for her, it's like literally just moving parts, but without the exhaustion. The exhaustion even is that exhaustion? Yeah, like exhaustion. So she can easily show it off without actually making it look like she's actually human. Like now she no longer has to pass for human because she's never gonna go back and meet the team anyway. So now she can easily show off the fact that yeah, she's a robot. She could lift 10 tons and make it look like she's only make it look like it only feels like a bag of groceries there or something. So with me, it's easiest to actually stop her mid lunge, pick her up with no sweat, and then move her and pin her against the wall and everything. So yeah, so yeah, so that was cool. That was cool. That was pretty cool. Also super duper cool. Yeah, Simmons was super duper cool. Simmons was super duper cool in this episode. She had the idea to. They were interrogating the assassin. I can't remember what his name was, but I think the assassin was I think Zane or Rain or something. Again, I can't remember what his name was, but he was ex KGB and he was ex Hydra too. So he was just ex kind of, like I think like Natasha went from KGB to Shield, which was really Hydra, and she even acknowledged that. But this guy went straight from KGB to Hydra and everything. So I don't know why that makes you laugh so much. I don't know why. I think it's because I actually just thought of I thought of the line from from Winter Soldier. I don't know why I miss you all so much. I thought of that scene from Winter Soldier where Natasha is talking to Steve, and she's just like, oh, I thought I knew whose lies and secrets I was selling, but I guess it just turned out I was trading the KGB for Hydra. So it's like, for that one, she literally thought she was actually going to something as stable and as safe and as legitimate as Shield. But then it turned out she was actually just working for Hydra all along. And then with this guy, it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna jump straight into Hydra. Fuck freedom, fuck equality, all that stuff. I'm just gonna work for Hydra. So he was actually ex KGB, and so like he knew what he wanted all along, and he was not afraid to work for the bad guys. So yeah, I don't know, I don't know why that makes you laugh so much. But either way, the guy did not crack. The guy cracked under very little kind of pressure. He cracked under a lot of pressure, but it took a lot of pressure to actually crack him. So Gemma knew exactly what to do. She knew like no hammers, no chisels, none of the crap that Talbot mentioned. She knew as soon as she saw Ada's beheaded head on the table, she knew exactly what to do. And I think as time went on, I was like, I was cracking onto more and more details of what she was going to do. And I was like, yeah, that is a great idea. Show him Ada's beheaded head, pass it off as a human head, cover it in a bit of blood and gore, and make it look like an actual human head and stuff. And it was so hard. It was like her dominance and her commandeering that situation like a pro and actually passing it off as an actual torture method, I think I've established it well enough just exactly who I am and what kind of person I am. So I don't think you need to hear about what my exact thoughts are on that scene or on that situation, but Fitz found it hot. I too found it hot, and whether it's weird or not is a very, very objective kind of thing. It's very, very objective, but either way, it was hot. I don't think anyone can deny whether or not it's hot. Whether or not it makes it weird is objective. It's up to you to decide. I trust that's what objective means. I need to look that up. But, no one can deny that Gemma Simmons, Season 4 Gemma Simmons, is just... Yeah, Season 4 Gemma Simmons is exactly that. And, yeah, like that whole scene, just her like her having the utmost confidence in herself to pass off that kind of thing as an actual punishment method, like, oh, the last Hydra agent who kept quiet from us or tried to go against us had like suffered these consequences, and even that one liner too, like, oh, what's that classic Hydra saying? Cut off one head, two more shall take its place. Well, we cut off this head, and it stayed dead. It stayed dead. No more, no 2 heads, no 4 heads, no 8 heads, no more heads, no more. We cut off this head, and it refused to grow back. That is the power of the new shield. That is the power of this shield. We cut off Hydra's heads. No more heads will grow back. No more heads will be allowed to grow back, and stuff. So, yeah, genius plan, genius execution. Just. Overall, just such an amazing thing. And again, Gemma Simmons is the boss. She is the boss. What she says goes. She is the. I can't. I don't know if I can say the word, but she is the boss. She is the boss lady. And even her actually establishing that with Talbot too. Like in that room, she has one of the highest like levels of shield security clearance out of anyone in that room. And she's not afraid to use it to get to the intel that she needs. So. Season 4 Gemma Simmons just But yeah, just she's amazing. She's amazing. Gemma Simmons, like again, like how far the Bus Kids have come. Fitz, Daisy and Gemma have come so unbelievably far. It's hard to believe that they were ever the small baby beans that they were in season 1, but even then, like the stuff that they went through in season 1 helped to form them into the badass shield agents that they are today. So I am nothing but grateful for the changes they've gone through, for them to become as hardened and as fierce and as united and as hot as they are now. Yeah, I mean, they used to be pretty darn cute back in season 1, but now it's just like those kids just Fitz and Daisy and just Gemma just they could destroy me. They could destroy me, and they'd have my permission. They'd have my full permission to do so. So, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, that whole what Fitz called the Godfather move was just talentful and essential to the succession to the succession of that interrogation session. So that was great. And speaking of Fitz, he is working on Ada behind Gemma's back. That is not going to end well. That is not going to end well. Fitz working on Ada behind Gemma's back is not going to end well at all. She's going to find out, and when she does, it's going to blow up in his face. And also the fact that he just can't seem to let go of Ada is also troubling enough as it is. That even despite the fact that evil Ada was literally programmed by Radcliffe to be evil, so that so that she could try and get the Darkhold out for him. Even despite all of that, the fact that he can't seem to let this go is just troubling. As always, it's just super troubling. So it's not exactly giving me the best of vibes as to how the rest of the season might go. If he can't let go of Ada, then this I think this Ada still seems somewhat intact too. Like I think he must have like transferred the software over to his phone. But then even the fact that her last words were "Thank you, Fitz" is still, it's still kind of worrying that she might still somehow live on in her own head, but also like dormant in her own head, but still alive and well in his phone and tablets and whatever else he works on her with. But either way, the kind of main issue being the fact that he is once again keeping Ada a secret from Gemma, and this time it's after the incident, like what they're now calling the incident, like Ada actually doing everything that she did and having lost like one agent to her already. It's like, like after everything that's happened, he's still working on Ada, and he's once again keeping it from Gemma. So that's not going to end well. That is not going to end well. So Fitz, for that, Fitz is a naughty boy. He's a naughty boy, and he will be punished by Gemma eventually. So yeah, I mean that phrase is as suggestive as they come. There's no hiding the suggestiveness in that phrase. But either way, regardless of suggestiveness or not, like he is going to have to face the consequences at some point, whether that be like beratement and yelling at the hands of Gemma, or if it's going to be something else. But either way, I have no good feelings about that. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, that is it. That is pretty much all I have from this episode. So it was a fun one. It was a fun one. Good to, I think, good, relieving, and interesting to finally find out the truth behind Mace, and to finally find out exactly who he is, and then now to go forward with this new knowledge and also newly formed kind of dealed partnership between him and Coulson for the good of S.H.I.E.L.D. and for the good of the people. So interesting. Gonna be interesting to see where that goes from here. And LMD May, seeing how LMD May goes forward with her own new kind of revelation, and also seeing how May copes under Radcliffe and Ada's sedation now that they've likely actually gone forward to put her on like a bunch of different kind of combat simulations and stuff to keep her occupied, and seeing if she actually can get out of there, or seeing if someone can actually find out that this isn't the real May and the real May is still in Radcliffe's house and everything. So hopefully they can figure out something. So it should be good. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this episode. So let me know what you guys thought. As always, let me know what your thoughts are, and what you thought of this revelation and these reveals when you first saw this episode, back when it was all live and everything. But yeah, that is it. So that was Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 10. So thank you guys, as always, so much for being here and for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Once again, the full-length reaction for the episode will be available on Patreon, so you can go check that over there. And yeah, that is it. So I will see you guys next time.